Guys, it's like a dog with its tail caught in a lawnmower. It won't be long now. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Thunderdome Homestead. A little bit of news for you guys today. I tend to keep up with this kind of stuff, and you all should too. So, today is about warnings. Alright. So, all of the big CEOs are warning of what's coming. And they're not warning you. All these warnings happen at shareholder meetings. Well, most of them. Some of them happen in the press and things like that. But they are. I'm going to read a couple of articles for you guys today to show you what's going on. Alright. We'll start here. Wells Fargo CEO and president has become the latest high-profile corporate figure to predict the U.S. is heading towards recession. Speaking at the Wall Street Journal's Future of Everything Festival on Tuesday, Peter Scharf, who heads up the bank, said there was no question the U.S. was heading for an economic downturn of some kind. I think it's going to be hard to avoid some kind of recession, he told the conference. But I also get the fact that everyone is so strong going into this should hopefully provide a cushion so that the recession there is, if there is one, is short and not all that deep. Okay, so there's that one. Alright. Jamie Dimon, chairman and chief executive of J.P. Morgan Chase, described the challenges facing the U.S. economy as akin to a hurricane down the road and urged the Federal Reserve to take forceful measures to avoid tipping the world's biggest economy into a recession. Dimon's comments came a day after Joe Biden met with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell to discuss inflation, which is hovering at 40-year highs. Oh crap, what'd I do? Sorry guys, my other phone's being kind of wonky. Okay, it's a hurricane, Dimon told the banking conference, adding that the current situation is unprecedented. Right now it's kind of sunny, things are doing fine, everyone thinks the Fed can handle this. That hurricane is right out there down the road coming our way. We just don't know if it's a minor one or whether it's Superstorm Sandy, he's added. The Fed is under pressure to decisively make a dent in the inflation rate, which is running at more than 3 times its 2% goal, and has caused a jump in the cost of living for Americans. It faces a difficult task in dampening demand enough to curb inflation while not causing a recession. The Fed, quote, the Fed has to meet this now with raising rates and quantitative tightening. In my view, they have to do quantitative tightening. They do not have a choice because there's so much liquidity in the system, Dimon said. So, what they would have to do in order to curb inflation is raise interest rates, which they've tried it and it hasn't worked, above the inflation rate. Now, the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index, is basically, it's kind of an analysis that they take all this stuff and they say, all right, well, this is how much inflation we've had month over month. They fudge the numbers big time because they say we're like 7-8%. You can go to the grocery store or anywhere and see that we're well above that. So, like, for example, the way they fudge the system is they say, oh, well, we're at 8% or 7%, but we're not including energy, with gasoline, diesel, electric, natural gas, propane, or meat. And they say it in little teeny tiny letters down at the bottom of the page. So the CPI is not accurate. Our inflation rate, I believe, is a little closer to 20%. So, imagine interest rates going over 20%. Boy, if they do that, you better pay off your credit cards and your car loans and any debt that you have in a hurry. Because if that happens, you're in a world of hurt at that point. So, all these big CEOs are warning, and all the big banking CEOs are warning you about the economy. They're not warning you, but they're warning. Then, alright, now we move on to food. American food supply chain is in a crisis right now, a crisis that could be reflected at the grocery store shelves and wallets by the end of summer. This warning comes from Farmer John Boyd Jr., the president of the National Black Farmers Association, who spoke to Leland Vittert on News Nation's On Balance. He says poor planning weather across much of the country, higher prices on seeds, fertilizer, and fuel, and supply chain issues are taking a heavy toll on farmers. Why do I always have critters in my videos? We're going to see a lot of empty shelves and a lot higher prices, Boyd said. He is calling on the federal government to give financial aid to farmers to help at least mitigate some of the increased costs they're seeing, which would ultimately lead to higher prices for consumers. Farming isn't Republican, it isn't Democrat, it isn't independent. It's food, Boyd said. Land is neutral. My grandfather said land knows no color. It doesn't know any party. If we do what we need to do, we can produce the food. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me find my next article here. Okay. Here we are. The war in that place, you know what I'm talking about, will lead to worldwide famine in the next 2 years, warned Senator Roger Marshall of Kentucky, who serves on the Senate Agricultural Committee, warned Tuesday. Quote, you know I'm a big agricultural guy. 12 to 15% of agricultural products, corn and wheat and sunflower oil, come through that Black Sea. So, and fertilizers come out of that area as well. So there is actually going to be a famine 1 to 2 years from now. I think 2 years from now will be even worse, he told Fox's Business Mornings with Maria. What does it cost to take care of millions of refugees? We're already going to be spending $15 billion right now helping out, and I just want to compliment the people of Poland what a great job they're doing. Half of them have taken refugees into their homes, so they're doing an incredible job, said Marshall, who is one of 10 senators who visited Poland and Germany recently. Did you just say there will be a famine in Europe in the next 2 years? The host asked. Quote, this will be a worldwide famine. I think it will be even worse next year than this year. So if 12 to 15% of the wheat comes from that place over there that's exported, then they're having problems getting fertilizer. They're having tractors in the field. All the diesel fuel is going towards their war efforts, right? The senator said. So if all that is clogged and all the U.S. aid we spend, all those types of things, there will be a famine across the world. And we're seeing it right now. I think American farmers are doing their best to respond, but we can't get fertilizer. The fertilizer prices have quadrupled. Diesel fuel has doubled. So, many of the fertilizers and herbicides we can't even get right now, he said. That's the story of America right now, is over-dependence. I think you could break that same concept down to a micro level. Just your household. Over-dependence. You could take that on any level you want. Household, community, state, federal, global. Alright, back to the article. Whether it's chips being made, computer chips and stuff, across the ocean, or we have depended on Russian oil. Once upon a time, we were dependent on Iran oil. I wonder why we keep making the same mistakes. On that place over there, the senator warned... Oh, crap, my thing died. Oh, well. You get the point. Senator warned it could be a ploy that Russia agreed to cut military operations near Kyiv, while Ukraine and Russia negotiate. Oh, crap, I said it. Oh, well. We were hearing the same thing you're hearing. We did establish good communications with folks in there from that trip that we took. And we spoke with them again yesterday. I think reporters got it right. Be careful. This could just be a ploy, but what we are being told is America continues to slow walk getting military aid in there. Okay. So, next article. The world has 10 weeks of wheat supplies stored as that place over there that went into that other place enters its 4th month. A food insecurity experts told the UN. Sarah Benker, the CEO of agricultural analytics firm Grow Intelligence, told the UN Security Council that war over there was not the cause of the food security crisis, but simply added fuel to the fire that was long burning. That place over there is considered the world's, quote, breadbasket, and those two places over there combined account for almost a third of the world's wheat exports. This comes as UN Secretary of State Anthony Blinken accused that place over there of using food as a weapon. Blinken, also addressing the UN Security Council, said that Russia was holding food, quote, hostage, not for that place over there, but for millions across the world. Everyone is warning you. Are you going to listen? If you're not, for one, this ain't the channel for you. And for two, you're going to have a really hard time very soon. All the experts in every sector are warning you. CEOs of different companies and different banks, and Biden even said there will be food shortages on live television. Why wasn't it being said in the beginning of the because I don't know if any of you saw what I saw on the shelves, but not a pack of meat, not a pack of or not a loaf of bread could be found in the local grocery stores. Now, granted, different areas have different issues, but they didn't say there was going to be food shortages then. They didn't say anything that, there's food shortages right now because of but they're saying it now. I know my shelves look a whole hell of a lot better than they did even 6 months ago. A year ago. But that's not going to last. Between the bird illness going around that they've killed millions and millions of birds that you eat, between probably close to 30 in the past year, food processing centers burning to the ground or getting crashed into by airplanes, between the fact that that country over there used to send us fertilizer in the form of urea and potash, and then they stopped, and then Canada tried to help us out by sending potash on a train, and the train derailed. You can't make this shit up, guys. You can't. So, when are you going to listen to these warnings? Now or when it's too late? It's almost too late now. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't benefit from you being prepared. I say this stuff because I don't want to see anyone struggle and go through hard times and be hurt. Or have to go without. I don't want to see kids go without. So if you don't want to listen to these people, listen to me. And I'll give you guys advice on how to do all these things. How to stock food properly so that it doesn't get infested with bugs and stuff. Because trust me, in my early days of doing this stuff, I learned that the hard way. Extra protein. But guys, if you don't listen to them, listen to me. I'm serious. Get food and what you need now. All these things are stacking up. And once that one little block gets pulled out and that Jenga tower comes falling down, you'll be thankful that you listened, and you'll be thankful that you have what you and your family need. Alright, guys. If you found this useful, like, share, subscribe. If you like this kind of content with actual news articles instead of me just, basically going over the information without citing sources and things like that, let me know. So, you guys be safe and get what you need. Catch you later.